Aloha and welcome back. I'm Fade Panther and this is Final Fantasy Renaissance version 2.1. Right, yeah. We're gonna start delving these dungeons. That's a little weird. That's fine. Nope. Wow. Just one hit and the attack power dropped so much that it went from like 90 damage to 28. Heal. 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 Oh. But he still has enough to deal like 19. Alright. There. Wow. 11 still? The fuck? Well, now you won't have enough damage to get by that. Yep, there we go. That's right. Yeah, no, that actually confirms my theory. Does it do 25% from the max, 25% for the max? No. It takes the attack power. Let's take the Earth Elemental, for example. So, Earth's attack power is 99 to 199. So, hit kind of low, sort of. You take away 25% of that, and you're left with, let's just say, 74, maybe 75 on basic damage, and something similar to that for the upper, and then 25% the 75 down. So, yeah. It's very it makes things tricky because some enemies you only need to hit like with one barrage, whereas other ones you need to hit them several times. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. How does that make sense? No, I mean, seriously. Hold up. Oh, I get it. Because they hit twice, what's happening is the 33 to 66 is getting deducted down to, I want to say like 20 something. And because their armor is so much higher as it is, it doesn't matter how many times it's hitting. It is... Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah. That's what's going on. Yeah. Cool. So basically, Poultry Polka works incredibly well on enemies that deal most of their big hit damage via multiple strikes. Because it makes the absorb matter that much more. That was always the thing with some games. It'd be like, hey, yeah, this is a really fast opponent. 3.5 was basically notorious for this. Characters had armor class or damage reduction. And not just characters, like monsters, too. Well, that was the thing. If they had damage reduction, they often didn't have good AC. Oh, fuck no. Hated that. But yeah, basically what it would turn into is, hey, do you have high accuracy and hit a bunch of times? Awesome, cool. Avoid the people who have damage reduction, because what will happen is all of those hits will not matter. Cobra. Actually, that's fairly good experience. And they don't hit particularly hard. But yeah. The big takeaway was just like, I had I've always been making custom classes and custom shit. That's just what I like to do. I don't like things being so basic, but at the same time, I can't work off of nothing. So yeah. But to bottom line it, I had made a class, or not a class. It was a race, and it was specifically designed to mess with parties. And I don't mean in, like, it's a prankster, so it likes to fuck with them, that sort of thing. No. It was designed to be a race that was designed to be a part of a party. So you could convince one to join you, or if you're... Fuck. That was a heavy goddamn hit. Holy shit. Yeah, they're now hitting 3 times. I need to check their accuracy. But... Alright. What am I saying? I'm saying something. God damn it. So the class, yeah, that's what I thought. The race was designed to be playable if your DM allowed it. And what the class would do is it would if it was allowed an hour's worth of time, because these guys give poison, and that's their big thing, not how much damage they do. But if you gave them an hour's worth of time and a magic item, they could break it down and absorb its effects as if it was just a part of their system. Anybody who knows anything about D&D can immediately see this as a huge red flag and a massive problem for most games. Yes, I acknowledge that, I realize that, and yeah, it absolutely could be. So what would happen is what it was is a embedder, is what I named the race, was a combination of animals, sort of chimeric in nature. And it would have a wizard or a wizard, sorcerer, what have you, a magically endowed individual who was the person who commanded them. It also was the individual who gave them stability and control and everything like that. So an embedder who had a wizard commanding them and everything like that had no limitations on how many magical items they could absorb. But a wizard isn't going to make a magical item just for them to absorb, because in 3.5 it took experience to make a magical item. So yeah, that was something that inherently made sure that couldn't be abused. 3 and 5 in 5th edition, that's a very different kettle of fish. Let's just put it that way. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening is you have an embedder that once they lose their wizard, they don't die, but they lose a lot of advantages. One of the first advantages they lose is the cap, the infinite magical items cap it's gone. So now they have a limitation on how many magical items they can have stored within them. And I didn't get far enough in the development of the class to, or race to, like, refine that. But at the same time, it didn't matter so much. Because in 3.5, the big magical items were not the ones that you're used to. I mean, yeah, you have your basic fare of stuff and whatnot, sure. But the bigger reality is you had what was called items with ego. Items with ego are items that basically have a mind. They are an entity. In 3.5, there was this huge pull for alignment. And that's something I've personally been trying to stay away from, just because alignment is kind of dumb. It doesn't actually pay attention to the fact that people can change. In fact, actively punishes you if you try to. So, not something I care to enforce at any of the tables that I DM at. But regardless, 3.5, that was a thing. And the ego of an item has an alignment. And if that alignment does not align with your characters, you run into the first big problem that a lot of people run into. And that would be the fact that you unfortunately have to deal with a guy who is absolutely going to try to do things their way. Say you have a pacifist blade, and you're a murder hobo. Well, that ego blade can actually override you and make you do something without your okay. It was the big thing about ego items, is just the fact that they could go, no, I don't want you to murder that child. And now you're in this battle with your own fucking sword because it wants to not do anything you want to do. That's it. That's all. Well, with the embedder, I couldn't bring myself to have something like that play out that way. What do I mean? I mean that the embedder could not take an ego item it couldn't override. AKA, it can't have multiple things in its head. And yes, that also does mean those magical items like a Lich's phylactery, all that stuff, they couldn't absorb those without getting rid of the other ego inside of it. That was one of the big limiting factors I gave the embedders overall. Doesn't matter what they have, they could not do this. Just to keep things in line. That said, you still did have to deal with quite a few individuals. So I made sure to think properly on how to go about limiting things. And one of the bigger factors is the fact that because the embedder is most oftentimes bestial by nature, they fall into the problem that a lot of beast races fall into, especially in 3.5. Most equipment doesn't work for you because it wasn't made for you. That's it. And it's a big problem. It doesn't seem like a big problem at first, but then when you realize, oh, in 3.5, magical items don't just adjust to you. So if it is built for a small-sized character, it doesn't matter if it's got a damn good ability on it. You can't equip it. That was the base rules. People often overrid that, but, you know, it was fun. The embedder I made for... Because I always made a bunch of NPC merc characters for every single one of the games that I ever played that was combat heavy, because I didn't want to ever make the players feel like they had to be the damage dealers, or had to be the healer, or had to be the blah 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 blah. I always made a characters who was designed to do those sorts of things. And there was a feat in a random book. This was in the glory days of D&D, where there were people who could legitimately make money selling ideas of how to make additional feats and spells and stuff like that weren't canon, but still not bad. And there was a feat that was like... I loved the feat because where other feats of 3.5 had like maybe a paragraph, maybe two when it got a little complex, this was a half a page of information on this one feat because it only did one thing. It only did one thing, but that one thing it in and of itself did so many extra things. I didn't put this on the embedder. I put this on a gnome that I had made, and she was a tinkerer. Her entire thing was to repair the equipment for the party because it was going to be an extra dimensional traveling event. Yeah. So she had this feat, and the feat basically... Wait, what? Oh, yeah. The feat, basically, what it did, she didn't have an alignment at all. So detect alignment couldn't detect her. It was like she was a chair. Oh, okay, that's really cool. That's really powerful. No. She had no alignment. So if something required her to have an alignment, she didn't have that alignment. She had no alignment. Okay, well, what's the advantage of that? Well, couldn't be detected by any alignment spells. Okay. Anyone who detects good or evil inherently cannot detect her at all. Okay. And it caused a pretty funny event when something like charm was put on them. This is where a good chunk of the information of this feat come in, because they gave examples. So, think if your character has been charmed. Okay, cool. And then they were told to bring down your ally. The charmed character who has no alignment goes, okay, turns around and unloads their gun into them. I said bring them down. I didn't say fucking murder them. You said brought them down. They're brought down. Yeah, 100%. You have to be careful with a charmed individual who has no alignment, because the feat that is revolvent around that makes it so they have no moral limitations either. So when they are told to do something, they do it in the way they feel is most appropriate. So, hey, I need X thing. Cool. They will 100% get you X thing. But since you didn't say how, and you didn't tell them how forceful or how not forceful, they 100% will use everything within their capabilities to get it done in the way they feel is most appropriate. Guess what? Chances are that's gonna fuck with any plan. Because basically it turns any charm event into everybody knows they're charmed. Because they are now without restraint. And it's just like, oh, that's a interesting advantage-disadvantage thing. Yep. 100% it is. Fucking wild. I put it on them, and I wasn't going to tell the party at all, just because, quite frankly, that is hilarious. Because, at the time, a couple of the people that I was going to join my party and everything like that were already doing stuff like, oh, I could be anything? Well, I want to be this, because it can turn into sand, and I can fuck with people. It's just like, okay. And I don't think they're used to someone like me, because their immediate next thing was, yeah, perfect flight allows you to do all this, and you could just do this, and I'm like, yeah, until flak's involved. They're like, oh, fuck, yeah, flak. Shit. I'm like, yeah, flak is literally designed to deal with assholes like that, so, I mean, you're gonna go into multiple different realms, so hopefully you don't run into flak. Yeah, it's just the the big interesting aspect of being an individual who loves tweaking the rules, but also being the DM who is just like, I want you guys to have fun. I don't want to punish you for shit, but man, if you want to fuck around with the rules a lot, you're giving me ideas to fuck you back. So yeah, like overall, it was a blast. I didn't actually get to play the game though. I helped a friend make up another class/race that had some really interesting abilities. Yeah, it's just the way things go. Oops. I mean, I guess I could have killed it. But yeah, I just 3.5 had so many very interesting things that came out for it. 3.0 and 3.5 did, and the current landscape of D&D is just like, it's hanging itself, and I don't mean not to try. It is just wanting to end its own life. I blame the fact that the person in control of the whole studio now, the Wizards of the Coast, is just, they're looking at monetization over art, and quite frankly, I am sick and tired of seeing those people. The Dancer's Brave is differently sorted. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, you could make a profit off of art, but here's the thing. Good art is what sells, and these days you can't get away with doing the old school, well, this really famous artist is doing this, kill the famous artist, and now their art is worth more as a result. Yeah, that doesn't work. And what ends up happening? Oh, yeah. The artist still wants to be paid for their work. So, studios start doing shit like using AI, which doesn't actually cost less. Go figure. Because you still have to have someone go in and fix all the fucking shit that the AI fucked up on. Because I'll tell you right now, I have seen some damn good AI art. Really good AI art. I can still tell it's AI art. And the only times I can't tell, I start going, no, show me something else that has this. Because at that point, if it can't show me hands, or directly looking into a character's eyes, which for some fucking reason are the two things that AI has a problem with, yeah, no, I absolutely just like, nope, I don't want to listen to it. I don't have a problem with AI art being used as conceptualization or helping in the concept phase. Helping in the concept phase. Not providing a stencil for you to trace over. Yeah, just... Also, I don't mind AI art when it comes down to stuff that is just like, nobody gives a shit. The thing I care about is whether or not the artist being fucking paid for their work. That's what I care about. That is my big thing. That is the thing I want to stop happening. I am so sick and tired of artists being thrown on the bus because they want to be paid for their fucking work. Then again, I'm sick and tired of the world fucking shitting on anyone who wants to be paid. If I'm completely honest with y'all, I'm just sick and tired of people blaming everybody else. Seriously, nobody I've seen in the world actually gives a shit about taking a look at what problems they currently have and, you know, look at them. Because you can't fix a mistake if you don't think a mistake is there. And here's the thing, if you don't fix a mistake, the mistake is going to keep happening even if you don't think it's there. That's the truth of the world. It doesn't magically change just because you somehow tricked yourself into thinking it doesn't exist. And that's a worldwide issue. That's probably the biggest thing that I'm so sick and tired of. People jump on the bandwagon of aiming after X place because of X reason, because of X thing, and it's like, the company that is the problem, regardless of where it exists or started from, is the problem. Stop blanketing. Like, stop spreading the hate. Focus it on the one thing. Deal with that one thing, and then be done with it. Because the biggest problem is dealing with a bunch of the weeds, but leaving the roots. And if any of you have worked on gardens before, that's a great way to never actually have dealt with the problem. Because the root of a weed will always make the weed come back. Always. Especially stuff like dandelions and... Get the fuck out of the way. Other plants of that nature. Which, by the way, fun fact, the term weed applies to any plant. Any plant. Oh, we are running. That's too many. Any plant that is not native to an area. Are you fucking serious? What the fuck? With all the shit that I have to deal with, being reminded how little the developers of games actually cared about the people who played them fucking aggravates me. I will catch you all in the next episode where what I'll probably do is I'll go to the prior floor, get a few levels, go back up, save, and then go back down again and possibly do stuff like that. Anyway, I'll catch you all next time. Until then, have fun, be safe, and aloha.